Hi everyone, it's me again, Fanfiction Dreamer. Welcome back to another episode of Kim Possible, the extremely secret files. Last time we went a little bit into the plot of the story, and I had to end with a much needed cliffhanger because the last video was on a little too long than I needed to have. So I will continue on with the rest of the story. Okay, here goes. Last time they were about to reach the last key needed to open the door containing one of Kim Possible's father's shuttle pieces. And now, on with the story. They eventually arrived at the hover bike race. There, they met with another member of the Desert Riders. Hello, DR Biker. We were, wondering... Hey! He grabbed Clank by the small antenna on the top of his head, lifted him off of the ground, and examined him more closely. Nice finish on that chrome. You buffed this thing out yourself? I handle my own buffing, sir. The biker then put him back on the ground. Oh, sorry, little man. I thought you were, Crankshaft. He then pulled out a pair of pink girlish glasses from his jacket. Can't see my own hand in front of me without these. He put them on. No big. So anyway, how do I enter the big race? Well, you got the helmet, right? You're in. Easy peasy. The prize is some kind of key to some special door. I bet there are some riches behind that door. Okay, Ratchet, you go enter the race. I'll go find Ron. I'll go find and back up Ron. Be careful, Kimberly. You too. She rushed off while Ratchet entered the race. The race itself was much tougher than the previous one. There were more dangers and much more nasty surprises. The bikers were especially much more fierce and relentless, as well as more nasty than possibly their bad breaths. Despite everything around that could intimidate anyone, Ratchet handled the race. There were a few close calls, much more than the last time, as to be expected. But he was able to outbest his competition and win the race without flinching even once. He arrived back and met up with the biker who was holding the last key. How did I miss that? Dang! I wanted to win this key. I would have loved to have what's behind that door. Oh well. He tossed the key over to Ratchet. You've earned it, fair and square. We got the second key. Now let's go find Kimberly and Ron. He rushed off with Clank. They eventually regrouped with Kim and Ron. Good to see you guys again. Did you get the second key? Ratchet pulled it out and showed it to her. Right here, Kimberly. Great. We have both of them. The door's this way. Come on. Ron ran off with Kim, Ratchet, and Clank following after him. They eventually stood directly in front of a massive door. It was an orange crimson colored with an arch shape with two keyholes on the front. So this is the infamous door that we're supposed to find. Ratchet pulled out the key that he won from the biker race. Let's say we crack this thing open and claim our prize. Kim pulled out the other key that she won from the arena. Of course, I've been dying to get this over with. And with that, they placed both keys into their keyholes and turned them. They waited a few seconds for any movements from the door. Then, the door began to react to both of the keys. It then opened very slowly, revealing another piece of the space shuttle. Kim reached in and grabbed it. She looked at Ratchet as she smiled. He smiled back at her. Kim pulled out the communicator. Yeah, Wade? Kim? Your dad wants to speak to you. He seems, well, a bit teed off. Put him on. Wade then displayed Dr. Possible on the communicator. Kimberly and Possible? Oh man, he sounds really angry. What's this I hear about vicious space arenas, alien biker gangs, and a very dangerous giant robot battle on some sort of otherworldly moon? Dad, calm down. First of all, Ratchet mostly took part in all of that. And secondly, believe it or not, all of it was necessary in getting back the pieces of your space shuttle. Dr. Possible calmed down and then hesitated for a bit. He seemed very despondent about something. Okay, Kimmy Cub, you didn't, I didn't want you to go through all this on my behalf. Dad, it's no big, really. I put myself in dangerous situations all the time. No, you don't understand. There's something that I didn't tell you about this project. Dad, what do you mean? Dr. Possible let out a sigh before he began talking. Kimmy Cub, the ISSF isn't a project that I've been working on by myself, much like the space shuttle. Unlike the space shuttle, it was being worked on and kept secret by the entire Space Center. What? You mean the entire Space Center knew about it, not just you? That's right. You see, when I was a very young adult and just starting out on my life, the space station, which started out as a crazy dream, became a full-blown project for the entire Space Center. It all started when I was approached by a few men. They had said something about always being aware of my project for the past few days, and that at that time, and they wanted to make that crazy dream of mine into a reality. A little after I started working for the Space Center, those men had us get to work on it. They even paid us a generous amount of money for all of us to work on the project. I was young and ambitious, so I accepted their offer without hesitation. They provided us with all the resources needed to build this thing, which helped us out tremendously. I was thrilled about this, Kimmy Cub, but over the years, I became suspicious about these men. It felt almost as though they had some sort of shady agenda in mind for wanting me to fulfill my dream. It felt almost as though they needed to use my space station for something devious. He squeezed the bridge of his nose in between his eyes as he paused for a bit. My suspicions were heightened even more just recently when I closely examined some of the resources they provided from us for this project. And I have discovered that there was a lot more alien technology involved in this than even Wade had found out. And these men that paid you to build this space station, did they know about this? Kimmy Cub, there was no way that I would have been given I would have been given alien technology by accident. These men knew exactly what they were doing. Wait, hold on a sec, Dr. B. How could you have not known that you were working with technology from some other planets? You were using that stuff to build the space shuttle. The space station. Ron does have a point. You could have been able to figure out by then that the kind of metal you were using was not anything found or made on Earth. You even used it to build the space shuttle. There were some parts of the project that even I was left out of. We were only assigned to the structural parts of the project. Everything else was handled by those men. I didn't know why until just now. Dr. Possible paused for a brief moment. Kim and the others were very concerned with him. He then let out another sigh before continuing. There were times when I wanted to back out of this project because of the sketchy nature of all of it. But we were far too deep in this mess for me to back out. I am so sorry, Kimmy Cub. All of this is my fault. I should have never accepted their offer to build this project. If anything were to happen to you because of this, I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
Dad, I understand. And don't worry about me. I'll help you through this. I will get you out of this mess. You can count on that.
Thank you, Kimmy Cub. I wouldn't have been surprised if you were angry with me, but it seems that you are much more mature than I was at your age. Had I been like you are now, none of this would have happened in the first place. Ratchet, did you get all that? Loud and clear, sir. Please continue to look after my little girl. So far, you're doing great, but keep at it, my boy. Of course, your daughter is in capable hands. So you don't need to worry about a thing, Dr. Possible. Kimmy Cub, one more thing I need you to do. And it's when you return home.
And what is that, Dad?
If anyone asks you about the space station, and I don't care who, I want you to claim that it was destroyed, but then secretly slip it over to me later on. I want to find out what those men were planning on doing with it.
So do I, Dad. So do I.
Kim, she hung up the communicator and stood by, spellbound. I can't believe all of this had been taking place.
I know. This secret is a lot more intense than I would have thought. I don't know what to say.
It seems as though Dr. Possible did not realize the severity of the dangers from this rash and offhand decision that he made during his younger years. Yeah, until it was too late. Even more so than that, I can detect some fear he has of this grim situation.
Yes, I've noticed that too. We have to keep going. We need to get that space station back from Draken and Shigo. If they were to uncover any of its hidden secrets, then we're all in serious trouble.
You're not going to handle this without me. I will help you through this, Kimberly. I'm here for you. I always will be. Always. She smiled at him in a much more emotional manner. He smiled back at her.
It seems that both Earth and the Bogon galaxy depend on us to complete our missions. Let's keep going.
They eventually pulled themselves together and walked off. Man, there's a lot of pressure from so many worlds that we need to save. I could really go for a knocko. Do we at least have some time to stop and pick one up? Ron! Didn't think so. They returned to planet Dovo. There, Lilo and Stitch waited for them.
Oh, hey, you guys. You got back just in time. Stitch here just fixed this transporter. For some reason, he felt that it needed to be repaired.
All fixed! They took a closer look at the transporter. Kim pulled out her communicator. The communicator. I hate overlooking this stuff.
Wade, anything significant about this transporter?
He got into finding that out. It says here that it transports anyone directly into the main facility.
Hopefully we'll be able to find out why that female Lombax wanted us to come here.
Let's go. They transported themselves into the main facility. As soon as they entered, they were already ambushed by a few surveillance bots. They brought them down almost immediately. Okay, I don't like this place already.
Let's hurry and find that intel. It has to be in here somewhere. They hurried through the facility as fast as they could. There were many more surveillance bots up ahead, but they were able to deal with them.
Gee, I wonder why it's so dark in here.
That is a very good question, Ron. This place looks so empty, and yet there are all of these robots here. It's almost as though they're guarding over something.
You may be onto something, Kimberly. Let's continue the search. They rushed through the dark halls. It was a long trek, but they were eventually able to reach a computer terminal.
This must be what she wanted us to find.
Okay, let's see what we can get from it. Ratchet pushed one button, but it made a sound as though something was powering down.
What? What is wrong with this thing?
The power appears to be out in this entire area. Oh man, we came all this way and then this happens!
Oh boy, not good.
Calm down, guys. I'll just call a maintenance bot. He pushed another button, which summoned a robot to hover in, but seemed to be incapable of doing anything. I don't think this thing knows what to do.
Yeah, this is so anticlimactic, to say the least.
The bot then turned the other way and hovered off. Let's just follow him and fix it ourselves. They followed the bot all the way to the other side of the facility. There they activated and worked on a mechanism that fixed the power in the entire area. They then returned to the terminal.
Okay, now that we've fixed the power of this entire facility, let's find out what we can about that experiment.
Ratchet nodded, then pushed the button again, but the monitor still wasn't working. Oh, what now? The monitor then displayed a large number. I think I see the problem.
What? We have to pay the terminal to make it work?
Oh man, even the computers are charging us? That's first-class cruelty!
Oh, no fair.
My thoughts exactly, guys. Despite the protests, they conceded to paying the terminal. Displayed something on the screen.
Reporting on Megacorp experiment number 13. This update is strictly classified. If you are watching this, you're fired. Early thinking held that the specimen was entirely docile in nature, even though blood provocation failed to incite it. But the late Dr. Putrid's son observed that natural levels of monster propamase in the experiment's bloodstream were triggering some remarkable changes. Attempts at neutralizing the specimen's violent tendencies were met with limited success. Our surviving staff recommend that the experiment be destroyed immediately at Megacorp's deep space disposal facility.
That part is just hilarious. If you are watching this, you're fired. What was that all about?
Whoa, that little guy sure is terrifying.
Suddenly, I'm no longer afraid of toasters blowing up in my face. The computer's log indicates that we were the first to view that recording. So, Fizzwidget must not know. If that's true, then we have to warn him, and that we will. They were eventually able to contact Mr. Fizzwidget via the computer terminal. Hello, Mr. Fizzwidget, you're safe! Sir, brace yourself. We just saw a video of your experiment eating its handlers. I repeat, eating its handlers. Oh, yes, low fat, extra foam, no sprinkles. He doesn't seem to be paying attention at the moment. Gee, you really think so, Ron?
Mr. Fizzwidget, please listen. The experiment is extremely dangerous.
She's right. Anyone handling it must exercise the utmost caution. No, decapitate it. What? Oh, yes, exercise my footmost cushion. Got it. Is he serious? Sir, your experts recommend that the experiment be liquidated.
Let's meet at the Deep Space Disposal Facility so we can talk about this.
Ah, yes, my cheap date proposal facsimile. Okay, is it just me, or is this guy sounding more and more disorderly?
I'm noticing it too, Ron.
Last I remembered, it's heavily guarded, so make sure to use the password, which is, Quarktastic. Yes, toodaloo. Suspicious. They severed connections with him. I really hope he isn't planning on doing something reckless.
Knowing how bumbling he's been, I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
Come on, let's hurry to the disposal facility. They left the ship as fast as they could and departed from the planet. They eventually arrived at the disposal facility. It appeared to be a massive hollow sphere. They flew directly inside it. All right, Kimberly, input the password. She did just that. But then the security system started attacking them.
What's going on? I thought I entered the correct password. Did I?
Yes, I am certain that you did. Then why are the defenses attacking us? I don't know, but we've got to hold them off until Mr. Fizzwidget gets here. Kimberly, take the second controls. And with that, they fought off the defense system. It took them an extensive amount of time doing so. As they fought on, Kim grew more and more suspicious of the situation at hand. Ron, on the other hand, was still freaking out, which greatly annoyed everyone. They were eventually able to fight off the defenses long enough for Mr. Fizzwidget to call them back. Hello? Come in. Can you hear me?
Mr. Fizzwidget, the password you gave us didn't work.
Implausible! Unless, is this Tuesday or Wednesday? Anyway, sorry to have missed our meeting, you guys. I was called away to film a commercial for our weapons facilitatory.
Mr. Fizzwidget, we really need to talk about the
commercial? I thought you'd never ask. Here, take a look at this.
Megacorp keeps you warm, keeps you healthy, and now keeps you safe. Hello, I'm Abercrombie Fizzwidget, and I'd like to welcome you to the new Megacorp Weapons Facility. We offer guided tours to show you how our weapons are made. Our highly trained experts spend their day creating the latest in heavy-duty weaponry to protect you and your whole family. So stop by today and bring the kids. Our tours are both informative and fun. And who knows? You just might learn something.
Yeah, never go on a tour like that. So, what do you guys think? Spectaculary, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. Mr. Fizzwidget, we need to...
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Fizzwidget out. Sir, wait! It was too late. He already disconnected. Mr. Fizzwidget, come in! Ratchet tried to contact him again.
Well, this has been frustratingly inconvenient, although something about this seems a little too inconvenient. Ron, what do you think?
That looked like the most dangerous and frightening tour anyone would ever go on.
Ron, focus!
Oh, sorry, KP. I'm just overwhelmed by the sheer terror of everything that looks deadly. I need something to calm my nerves. Can we stop and pick up some nachos?
Ron!
I'll take that as a no. Perhaps we will be able to find him at the weapons facility. Yeah, let's head over there now. My thoughts exactly. They were flying a long flight through space. Just then, Wade contacted them on the dashboard monitor. Hey guys, how are things going? To put it lightly, Wade, very, very irritating. Oh, that doesn't sound good. But given the circumstances, I'm not really surprised. That geezer has been completely absent-minded. He's been a lot less focused than Ron. We have made an attempt to meet with him at the Megacorp disposal facility to discuss with him about the experiment, but our efforts have been, shall I say, for naught. We were attacked by the facility's defenses, even though Mr. Fizzwidget gave us a password. Even worse than that, he never showed up to help us out at all. He said he was called off from meeting us there to film a commercial of perhaps one of the most terrifying places to have any doors of any kind ever. Well, I really hate to tell you guys this, but Mr. Fizzwidget is not as much of a scatterbrain as you may think. He's actually been avoiding you guys on purpose. What? How did you come to that conclusion? I have been hacking the Megacorp main computer and found some incredibly important data. One of them involved Mr. Fizzwidget's schedule. He lied to you about getting called away to film that commercial. He planned on going to that weapons facility for the commercial from the start. There were no changes to the schedule and no indications of meeting you guys at this disposal facility, or at all for that matter. So we flew all that way to the disposal facility for no reason? I wouldn't exactly say that. And it gets worse. I looked into the databanks of that facility and found that its defenses can't be deactivated by a simple password, but a complex binary code that only Mr. Fizzwidget and all of his employees know. So he had us set there to be blown to bits. I would believe that to be the case. And judging by how he reacted when we contacted him, he didn't expect us to surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. Does he even know that he has a vicious monster in his possession? I would think so. You would have to be far too deeply oblivious to not recognize that. And you already told us that he's not as unaware of everything he's doing as we thought. Great. Now I'm really worried about what he plans to do with the experiment. I tried to look into any intel regarding the experiment, but the main computer's firewall kicked in and I was blocked out. Sorry, guys. I wish I could have done more to help. That's okay, Wade. Even if you were a little helpful, you have done a lot more for us than what that geezer ever did. Always happy to help. I'll keep digging for more data regarding Megacorp and the experiment. By the way, where are you guys heading? We are heading over to the Megacorp weapons facility to hopefully find and speak with Mr. Fizzwidget. More like confront him and demand him to tell us why he tried to have us killed. Well, okay. But don't be too disappointed if he isn't there, because he most likely isn't. That's fine. Even if we don't find him there, I wouldn't think our efforts of getting there would be for nothing. Regardless, I'm sure we'll find something vital there. Well, okay. I'll contact you guys again as soon as I find out anything important. Yeah, you keep at it, Wade. At least I know we can count on you." Wade smiled before he cut off communications with them.
Yeesh. I had no idea that things were to really get this bad.
Yeah, me neither. It will only get worse from here. Jeez, between Dr. P's space station and the whole issue with Mr. Fizzwidget, things have really gotten intense. Are you sure we can't stop for some nachos? Kim, Ratchet, and Clank looked towards Kim, Ratchet, and Clank looked towards Ron and gave him some very nasty looks. Ron was greatly discouraged by this. Never mind. Prepare yourselves, everyone. We're almost there. Oh my gosh, this is just too much. They eventually arrived at the weapon facility on planet Tordano. Immediately after they landed, they noticed a tour bus flying in and dropping off a crowd of robot civilians.
Oh, look! They really do give tours here, just like that commercial said they would.
And if what we saw in that commercial was any more accurate, then this tour will be very dangerous.
I sure hope not.
Just then, Clank spotted something that startled him. Unfortunately, what Ron had just mentioned was precise. Look. They looked over and noticed the civilians starting their tour, led by a Fizzwidget bot, and directly into a path which cuts through a field of monstrous rabid squirrels. "Oh no! KB! Ratchet! Clank! Those mutant squirrels are going for those tourists!" "Not if I have anything to say about it. Come on!" They rushed out to the field as fast as they could. The squirrels were fast approaching the civilians, and they were about to attack. But then Ratchet and the rest of the group came in and fought the squirrels just in time to protect the civilians. As the tour continued on, they were faced with more of the vicious wildlife. Ratchet and the others made certain that not even one civilian was harmed. However, during the fight, the squirrels took an unusual interest in Ron, which he found very terrifying. They then chased after him. He ran away from them while screaming. Kim, Ratchet, and Clank stood by and watched all this take place. Okay, this is weird. At least he is luring them away from the tourists.
We have to do something. Those squirrels will rip him apart.
I agree. Clank, you help out Ron. Kimberly and I will run ahead. Ratchet ran off with Kim. They continued the fight together. They kept the fight going all the way to the end of the tour. After they were able to fight off all the squirrels, the civilians rejoiced from being saved. Kim and Ratchet rushed over to them and smiled as they were being cheered at. A little girl approached Kim. She looked down at the little girl as they stood idly for a bit. She pulled out what looked like another piece of Dr. Possible's space shuttle.
Thank you for saving us. I don't know any other way to repay you. I just have this to give you. I hope you would appreciate this. Oh, absolutely. I have been looking for objects a lot like that. Thank you.
She took the object from the little girl. The civilians waved goodbye as the tour bus arrived. They got on board it, and it flew away. Well, that was a very interesting turn of events. Yep, we saved a group of robot civilians from those monstrous alien squirrels and collected another piece of my dad's space shuttle in the process. She pulled out the container that was given to her by Wade and placed the shuttle piece into it. She put the container away as Clank rushed back towards her and Ratchet. I can see that you have successfully fended off those rodents and saved those tourists from being devoured.
Sure did.
Where's Ron? Clank pointed towards another direction. Kim and Ron looked over and noticed the squirrels fighting to get Ron's pants off while he was screaming in the process. They managed to rip off almost all of his pants. He ran off, still screaming, while the squirrels fought to rip apart and devour his pants. Ron managed to rush back towards his friends, wearing nothing but the waist part of his pants, plus one pocket in which Rufus was still in. He had a very irritated look on his face from the epidemic. Way to take one for the team, Ron. The pants regenerator restored his pants miraculously. Good thing those tourists left when they did. I'm sure you would have not wanted them to see you like that. I'm guessing you'll want that knockout you keep asking for. You've got that right. Okay, this time we'll concede to that. Sounds fair. I am not looking forward to this. Come on, we need to search this facility for any vital intel regarding Mr. Fizzwidget and the experiments. They rushed off. Okay, I think that should be enough for now. Next time, we will continue on with the story as our group go further into the weapons facility and see if they could find Mr. Fizzwidget or any intel regarding the protopet. So, until next time, see ya! Alright, see ya!